and it's got that into the mines vibe going on. You know, you feel like you're gonna delve too deep, too greedily and too deep, and awaken something in the depths of this game. Alright, what's up guys? Got a review and walkthrough of the tutorial of Dwarf Fortress. So I've played a few games like this before, No Moria and RimWorld, to name a couple of them. First off though, if you guys don't mind smashing that subscribe button for me, especially if you enjoy the content, it really helps me out trying to get to 1,000 subs. Anyways, back to the video. So we're generating our world here, and it's really cool because not only does it generate the world, but you can see here in the text field it creates an entire unique history. You can change this to be 100 years to 500 years of history for your world, and I'm still really new to this game. I heard about it in the past when I checked out No Moria, but I never thought to give it a try since it was still like black and white text field game. So I was kind of excited to see that they have since, recently released it in a 2D form with all this pixel art, which I'm a pretty big fan of pixel art. So once it generates the world on your first playthrough, you can opt in to do a tutorial, which I would highly recommend especially if it's the first time you've played Dwarf Fortress, because this game is very, very deep and very complex. And I played about 2 hours last night, and the time just flew by. I thought I'd been in the game for maybe 20 or 30 minutes. So you've got a couple options here. You can do Fortress, which is your more standard game. Legends, I think, is setting out on like an adventure or something, but I haven't done that yet. So here we're going to go in and we're going to do the tutorial mode. You have the option to skip it, but like I said, if it's the first time you've done it, if you skip it, I think you can select any location you want for a starting zone. I just don't really know exactly what to look for, so when you do the tutorial, it kind of gives you a pretty well balanced start. And from my understanding, you're basically just gonna lose in this game. Lose a lot, but that's half the fun is the story leading up to whatever it is that ultimately causes you to lose in the game. So don't worry too much on your first playthroughs. Just assume you're gonna die, your dwarfs are gonna starve or be murdered or what have you. I'm sure there's tons and tons of ways that you can lose the game, which just in my own first playthrough I'm doing okay, but there's some things that I still don't exactly understand, like my animals. Most of them, after we went into the mine, starved to death, and then it took me a while to realize that they were all dead and just corpses in my great hall where all the dwarfs meet and eat. So, and I didn't realize this until they started decaying and releasing a miasma and making all my dwarfs kind of sick and pissed off that there's like rotting carcasses in the mines. So anyways, here I'm going through the tutorial, and it tells you how to move around through the different levels, vertically or scroll sideways. So this is a great way to get used to the commands. So we'll go ahead and we'll skip through just these basic tutorial part, because either you already know how to play the game, or if you haven't, I would just recommend going through the tutorial. So we'll fast forward through the tutorial here, and we'll get into a little bit further into the game. Alright, so fast forward here, we've got a little bit more of an advanced fortress going on compared to my initial start. Got about 17 dwarves. Not sure if the baby dwarf has been born yet, but there's a married couple, and the leader of the expedition married someone, and she gives birth to a dwarf baby before too long. So everybody's got their own bedroom. We've got some of our workshops set up. The main thing I'm trying to do is just get as far through the playthrough as I can to experience, as many challenges so that when I die, I can, know what more to expect on my next playthrough, which is what I would suggest your approach be with this game. So probably the biggest hurdle you're going to face early on in the game is just maintaining your food and your drink supply. So that's been my main focus. I am completely vulnerable to attack, so hopefully I don't get attacked, because if I do, I'll definitely be slaughtered with without mercy, because I don't really have a fighting force or any traps or anything. I've got like a wooden door hatch and a couple stone doors, but I don't really know what all that can do. So I've got a nice water supply there, so I mean, maybe I'll make like some traps or something where I can flood chambers and drown stuff, but mostly I'm just trying to keep my dwarfs from starving or dying of thirst. Trying to keep them all relatively happy, getting bedrooms and storage areas kind of set up, just seeing how what all there is that I can do in this game in terms of the colony sim aspect of it. So it's definitely tons of fun, and it's got that Into the Mines vibe going on. You feel like you're gonna delve too deep, too greedily and too deep, and awaken something in the depths of this game. So I would highly recommend picking it up. I don't normally buy games at full price, but this was an exception I made just because it's more of an old school game, and it has that older school design philosophy behind it, where there's a lot of complexity and depth to it, and you can tell it's a work of passion by I think it's two brothers that made it. It's their brainchild, their life's work, I think is what they referred to it as. And you can tell they're making a game that they want to play. It's not just something that they've made to try and get some quick cash, or they didn't cut corners and leave things unfinished just to hit a release date. It's what you used to get when you would buy a game. It would be complete. It wasn't intentionally missing content that could be later sold as DLC. So it's all there, and there's a lot of it. So there's just so many things in this game that you're really gonna have to just play it and experience it and die and play it again to learn things. And if you really want to, you can always look up guides and that kind of thing, but sometimes figuring it out on your own is half the fun. Before the internet was really widespread, that's the only way there was to do it, was figure it out on yourself, and from what you could learn from your friends and whatever rumors you've heard around school back in the day. So definitely check this game out, guys. It's tons of fun. I'm still going on this fortress. I've got probably another hour or so of playtime in it past this, and I've just continued to kind of build up my food supply, expanded my farm, started to dig deeper, set up some more economy type workshops to see what all I can sell. And then I'm going to start probably focusing more on it looks like I need to get either some kind of fuel source or magma to fuel a forge so that I can start smithing metal, which maybe I can just start burning the wood, because I have tons and tons of leftover lumber that's just taking up a lot of storage space in my fortress. And so if I can fuel the fires with the lumber to start crafting some weapons and armor. I'm going to try and get a bit of a military force going. I don't know if you can fight like toe to toe with the enemies, or if have to have traps, or you'll be overwhelmed by superior numbers. I have yet to experience it, so I'm just going to kind of see what happens in the game. But there's still a few things I'm trying to figure out. I was looking up how to do work orders, which is basically the way that you automate most of the production in your fortress. And I think I've got it figured out now. You have to assign somebody to like create them. So I'm gonna try and figure that out. If you guys enjoy this content, if you've watched this long, and you want to see some more Dwarf Fortress, let me know. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna keep playing it, maybe make another video or two. But I do have some other stuff kind of in the back of my mind for what I'm gonna make next. Really trying to get to that 1,000 subs. So smash that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Alright, take it easy, guys. Remember to give them the D.